You ever looked at a married woman, classy, committed, got the ring, the house, the life, and still caught her eyes scanning the room for something else? Maybe she's smiling a little too long at that guy at the gym. Or maybe you were that guy and you knew it the second she leaned in. And here's the question that messes with most men. Why do married women who've got what they signed up for, still crave the chaos, the thrill, the risk of stepping outside the lines? Brother, this video isn't about blaming women, it's about waking men the hell up. Because if you're sleeping on what's really going on behind the white picket fence, you'll end up being the loyal husband while your wife's finding emotional adventure in another man's voice. Let's get into it. One, modern culture rewards her for looking elsewhere. And you're being set up, brother. Let's zoom out for a second. You think this is just about marriage? Nah. This is about the world we live in, where women are encouraged to explore themselves, even after commitment, and men are shamed the second they assert boundaries or question the setup. Look at the media. Follow your heart. Self-care over commitment. Just because you're married doesn't mean you stop being a woman. All cute slogans until she's out here emotionally sexing Ryan from spin class because he gets her. Now, let's be real. If a man cheats, he's a dog. If a woman cheats, it's because she wasn't emotionally fulfilled. See how the game's tilted, and here's the kicker. The culture protects her freedom to explore but leaves you alone when your marriage blows up in your face. Now, you're the cold, distant husband. Now, you're the guy who never listened. Meanwhile, she gets wine, night sympathy, and motivational TikToks, validating her growth. This is what they don't tell you, brother. No one's coming to protect your peace. But you got to stay sharp. You got to stay emotionally aware. You got to keep leading your relationship with depth and strength. Not control, but presence. Because the moment you fall asleep behind the wheel, there are 1,000 little voices out there ready to steer her off-road, and you'll be left in the dust wondering what just happened. So protect your connection. Not by gripping tight, but by staying grounded, interesting, and always just a little unpredictable. You are the gravity in the relationship act like it. It too, comfort kills, desire, and nobody warns you about this. You know what? No one tells you at the altar that after the vows, the wedding cake, and the honeymoon sex, comfort becomes the slowest poison in the relationship. And here's the truth. Most married men don't see coming. Comfort is not intimacy. Routine is not passion. Predictability is not desire. You provide, you protect, you play by the rules, and you assume that's enough to keep her interested. But she's still human, brother. And deep in her wiring, like yours, is a craving for adventure, surprise, emotional chaos, and tension when everything becomes stable, safe, and known. Her body might still be in the room, but her mind, it starts wandering to the guy who doesn't text back. Instantly, wandering to the guy who speaks with purpose, not permission. Wandering to the unknown, not because he's better, but because he's not predictable. Here's the brutal reality. The more you stop leading, the more you stop challenging, the more you stop surprising, the more her desire starves. And in that hunger, she starts looking for dopamine outside, in flirting, in fantasies in the friend. She swears means nothing. You gave her consistency. What she's missing is mystery. Now don't twist this. This isn't about becoming toxic or fake. It's about maintaining polarity, that raw masculine energy that first pulled her in, because safety without seduction is just another prison. So if you're married or plan to be, don't just provide the roof shake, the damn foundation now and then. Because if she doesn't feel your edge anymore, she'll go find someone who reminds her what sharp looks like. Let that sit 3. She's not bored. She's starving for emotional depth. Let me tell you something that'll flip your perspective upside down. A woman doesn't cheat because she's evil. She cheats because she's emotionally underfed. And when I say underfed, I'm not talking about attention. She gets attention from you, from her friends, from random dudes on Instagram. What she's craving isn't attention. It's intensity. And most married men, they dial that intensity down the second. The rings on the finger, think about it before marriage, you ask questions, you listened, you studied her, you challenged her, you had depth after marriage, you got lazy. You assumed she was yours, you stopped learning her. And what happens when a woman feels unseen? She starts opening emotional doors with people who ask about her soul. Not just, what's for dinner? That guy at work who randomly asks her what song gets her crying in the car. He just unlocked something you forgot was even there. Now, should she cross the line number? But will she if the emotional craving outweighs her moral compass? Absolutely, because women don't jump into affairs, they slide into them. One ignored conversation at a time, you want to keep a woman close. Get curious again, ask her thoughts, challenge her worldview, show her that you still want to explore her inner world, even 10 years in. Because if you stop holding emotional space for her, another man will. And if he does it better than you won't even see it coming. This is why Stoic strength matters. Control your emotions. Yes, but never stop offering emotional connection. There's a difference for. She cheats because she can, and no one told you this. Let's get realer than real brother. You've been told your whole life to be a good man. Work hard, be loyal, treat her right, keep your word, protect her, and you did that. You showed up, but nobody warned you about this one brutal truth. Some women cheat, not because they're hurting, but because the opportunity was easy and the consequences were zero. Now read that. Again, you could be doing everything right and still get blindsided, because sometimes it's not about what you did wrong. It's about what she could get away with. Let me paint it straight. She meets a guy, he gives her the butterflies you stopped giving her. He doesn't carry her history, just her fantasy. No kids, no bills, no routine, just excitement. And in that little pocket of thrill, she forgets the man who would die for her. Because in today's world, cheating is easier than ever. DMs, work trips, dating apps just for fun. Backup options everywhere. And if she doesn't value integrity more than impulse, she will fold when the temptation outweighs the guilt. Brother, if this video hit something real for you, if you found yourself nodding, remembering, or maybe even hurting, you're not alone. We're building a movement here of grounded men who don't beg for love, who don't break when life throws fire, and who never settle for being half a man just to keep someone else comfortable. So, if you're tired of pretending, if you're ready to own your edge, your heart, and your future, hit that subscribe button, because this isn't just a channel, it's a brotherhood comment. The word awake, if this hit home for you, let the world know you're not asleep anymore. You see the game and you're not playing blind. Let's flood the comments with that word awake. If you're far from weak, drop it below. I'll be reading every single one.